Lefty and Chuck. We're going to go to some police departments today to give the Kuma guidelines and to ask the police where we can smoke marijuana legally. Some departments might not like what we're doing, so we may get tased.
They're going to practice, you know. I want to be ready to be zapped.
We're going to practice tasing each other to get ready for
put
today.
One on this one lead and another one somewhere else.
So we're going to try to build up our tolerance by tasing each other.
All right.
You ready?
Lay it on me, bro.
Wow. Here, my turn.
I definitely need a joint after that.
My turn. Put this in your pocket.
Let me try you. How's that feel?
Oh.
Still want to burn?
Hit me again.
Can I help you? I'm Lieutenant Marcantuno.
Oh, good.
Detective. Can you record it? I'd rather you not, but...
Well, I'm a medical marijuana patient in New Jersey.
Okay.
And rather than just go out here and smoke and wait to be arrested, we'd come into you first for some guidance on where we can go and not be arrested and be able to smoke marijuana somewhere.
Okay.
That's all we're asking.
Okay, so you have a medical... This is a
Yes.
medical marijuana card?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you also have a card?
Yes. I have multiple sclerosis. My card is right here.
And we actually brought you the Attorney General guidelines because I'm not sure if your department has received these.
I'm very familiar with these.
Okay, okay. Do you have a copy? You want a copy? You can have
No,
it.
I'm going to make a copy of your license. Is it
Sure,
no
okay.
right.
Absolutely.
I'm here in this town all the time.
Yeah, because you can run them and confirm we're patients and everything.
Yeah, I will.
Sure.
Sorry, guys. No problem with the copier.
No problem. Other things.
Here's my card.
Okay.
Okay, so you know who you're talking to. Okay, and your question is, where can you legally smoke marijuana with the medical marijuana?
Like, we're in the area for now, and I know we can smoke in a smoking lounge, like where they smoke tobacco.
Yes.
Can we smoke out here in your smoking lounge?
We don't. Well, you can, according to the Attorney General guidelines, you could smoke marijuana with a medical marijuana card anywhere that you can legally smoke a regular cigarette, tobacco cigarette. Okay. The only conditions are, I mean, there's no smoking in a building, of course, and a lot of buildings don't have that. You know, but there's designated areas outside and stuff like that. Wherever it listed that you can smoke, is where you can smoke medical marijuana. Of course, you'd have to have your card with you.
Right.
Okay. So you can prove your ID.
Right.
There is a couple exceptions in the Attorney General guidelines that came out as far as operating motor vehicles.
Yes.
Okay. So you wouldn't be allowed to smoke marijuana while you're operating a motor vehicle.
Right.
Okay, or prior to operating, and if you are and you are stopped, you would be, the charge would be a
DUI.
DUI, yeah, absolutely.
Driving under the influence, not a possession charge, as long as that you do have the card with you.
Right.
So other than those guidelines, it's pretty straight and clear that anywhere you can legally smoke, and now you got to just be careful of the fire codes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the main problem, because there's a lot of rules out there where you can smoke. A lot of things are restricted now, and there are some cities and that don't allow smoking in the limits.
Cigarettes.
Sorry.
Okay. So did I answer your questions that you need?
Yeah, because we just don't want to. If you have a problem with us medicating here, we'll go somewhere else. Just tell us where to go, because I mean, we don't want to do anything that's going to cause you guys a problem.
Well, the problem, as long as you possess here, you can take my card.
Okay.
But as long as you possess your card.
Okay.
You know, and you're cleared. Here's your guidelines. Do you want?
You can have them if you want them, sure.
Okay, you have them.
Yeah.
Happily making everyone.
Yeah, we're trying to
understand.
because a lot of police departments are different. They have different. They don't know. And yeah. So we're trying to like just educate people because the reason why I'm doing this is I was on OxyContin and roxicodone for 10 years, and now I take 0 pills.
Same with me. I was on 42 a day.
Yeah, and I just want to educate people.
I would be. You know, like I said, I mean, there's legal things, and then there's things that you want to just be conscious of. Also, you know, you don't want to light up and smoke in front of a school or or something where it's going to create.
Right.
I mean, be a little bit more discreet about it would probably help you out a lot more. With it, but you're okay.
It bothered me because I have 3 daughters, and I'm always at the Menlo Mall Christmas time. And my wife and 3 kids, they might be in the mall for 6 hours doing their thing, and I can't take 6 hours of mauling. So I'll be in the car for 4 hours, normally by myself if it's cold or whatever.
You told me you couldn't take 6 hours of your wife.
But now I can medicate there. If she has the keys and she's in the mall, then I'm not driving. I'm in the back of the van.
Where's the smoking lounge out here? Out in the front?
There is no smoking lounge. You'll see signs outside that it's out. There's like an ashtray, but it's if you go out the doors and you go, well, you can't go to the right because that's a police site. If you go, you'll see a bench or something.
Oh,
but it's
okay.
got to be so many feet from the building.
25
I think
feet
it's
or something?
posted out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I appreciate your.
Thank you very much.
Yes, no problem.
Thanks,
Good luck,
officer.
guys.
Yes,
All right.
thank you.
All right.
We're here at the Edison Police Department. They said we could smoke out here in the smoking lounge. That's what I'm going to do. I obey the law. The law says to smoke in the smoking lounge. I am going to obey the law and smoke in the smoking lounge.
I'm downwind.
Smoking marijuana in the Edison Police Station.
Definitely virgin property. No one has ever smoked a joint at that table. Ever.
Stop arresting patients! Stop arresting patients! Stop arresting patients!
Welcome to CMMNJ TV.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
I'm Ken Walski, Executive Director of the Coalition for Medical Marijuana New Jersey. The mission of our organization is to educate the public about the benefits of marijuana. Marijuana is a safe, effective, and inexpensive therapeutic agent for a wide variety of diseases, symptoms, and conditions. No patient should suffer needlessly without it, and no patient should ever go to jail for following the advice of a doctor. Join us and learn more about the exciting science of medical marijuana. Welcome to CMMNJ TV. I'm Ken Walski, Executive Director of the Coalition for Medical Marijuana New Jersey. I'm here in the Princeton Community TV studios today with the Executive Director of CannaSense Total Wellness Tours, Louis Santiago. Louis, thank you so much for coming back to see us again.
Thank you for having me, Ken. It's always a pleasure.
Louis, I know you've been an activist for medical marijuana reform for, probably close to 10 years now. And you've been very active in New Jersey, testifying at the State House and demonstrating your support for medical marijuana in very many ways. And one of the interesting things that you are is bilingual. And so you've actually appeared on some Spanish television stations. Isn't that correct, Louis?
Yes, thankfully to you guys, I was able to debate a New York City drug abuse counselor successfully, embarrassingly on her part.
That wasn't Telemundo, was it?
That was on, it was a Telemundo program, Dialogo de Costa a Costa. And the dialogue was so hot with live call-ins, they were able to tape 3 segments back to back.
It's so great to be able to reach out to the Hispanic community, Louis. We're really grateful for your special skills in this area, and the international cannabis community is, just hungry for this knowledge. So thank you for doing that. And let's talk a little bit about your CannaSense Wellness Tours. You're the executive director of that. Tell me about that, Louis.
Well, it is CannaSense is actually our collective in California. And our sister company is CanCure Wellness Tours, which is registered here in New Jersey. And what we were doing was offering patients that didn't qualify for the New Jersey program the option of becoming California patients. And although we had an overwhelming response, the biggest problem was patients that weren't ambulatory and couldn't make the journey to California.
They have to physically go to
They
California.
had to physically go to California to take the to get the recommendation done. But with the wonders of technology, I was hoping that in the next year or so we would be able to get these recommendations done with local doctors and California doctors working on computers, and we were able to do that. We're very soon, people stay plugged into the website. We'll be updating the opportunity for folks to get their recommendation online, and then if they choose to join our CannaSense Collective, we will provide for them based on California guidelines.
There a recommendation from a California physician online?
Yes. Yes.
And that would require a California ID.
No.
No.
No. Whatever their local, whatever their state government issued ID is, has to be a photo ID. They'll be asked to upload that into their computer in the process, and it'll be on their recommendation of their photo ID with their home address, whatever state they live in. Doesn't matter.
Okay. So then the question is, how do they get their medicine?
Well, then if they choose to join CanaSense, because that's part of California, most of the dispensaries have a self-written rule that they won't provide to out-of-state patients, even if they have a legal recommendation, because they don't want to get caught up in any stings. Being a patient myself and understanding the need to be a legal patient somewhere, that's why I went to the extent that I did to California, that they at least allow people to become patients there. So I acknowledge the patient's needs, and as long as they have a legal recommendation that can be validated, I'll provide to them. That's the business opportunity that I saw, and being able to provide to patients from anywhere. So I actually wrote a letter to all the Jersey doctors, participating Jersey doctors, that had to cater patients for 3 months to then let them down with the sad news that they don't qualify under Jersey recommendations. So the patients were glad to have that alternative.
So this is for non-qualifying patients in New Jersey. So you're not actually competing with the alternative treatment centers. You're providing an alternative to the people who cannot get it through the alternative
The
treatment
doctors
centers.
actually welcomed the opportunity. They said, "Is this for real?" I said, "Yeah, of course." I said, "It's for patients," because one of the biggest doctors that was relieved was his specialty is chronic pain. All of his patients were chronic pain. So he, put them all through the process of trying all different meds, then wrote recommendations for them at the end of 3 months, only to be rejected, and then to be admonished by the Department of Health and Senior Services for writing frivolous recommendations. They said chronic pain is not a qualifying condition.
Except in the cases of cancer and AIDS.
Yeah, now they've changed it a little bit. Yeah.
But over, I would say, 95% of the cases of chronic pain are not related to cancer and AIDS.
Correct.
There's just so many different conditions and diseases that have chronic pain as one of the symptoms. In fact, one might say that the aging process itself
is chronic pain. Yeah, I've kind of lived through that myself as a truck driver for 40 years.
Associated with chronic pain. But the reality is that patients still run the risk of performing an illegal act in New Jersey by having marijuana that does not come from the alternative treatment center.
Well, that's the alternative is that, we're not asking we're not trying to circumvent any laws. We're just trying to provide people with a safe legal alternative. And as long as they are being responsible and using their medicine in their home, there's no reason to, they're minimizing their exposure.
They're minimizing their exposure. So it's
so
really you're competing with the black market rather than the alternative treatment centers.
Well, it's an alternative to the black market. I don't want to compete with them. That's the black market's always going to be there because there's a segment of the population that doesn't care if they're legal patients or not. They just want to get their hands on cannabis. We want to cater to real patients like the ones that you see on Sanjay Gupta's program and with Dr. Davinsky. These are legal people that have legitimate medical concerns but are not ambulatory or don't, people are moving out of states. People are uprooting their whole families to move out of states to be legal patients. So all we're doing is we're going through that extent of becoming a legal patient and to show law enforcement these are the extremes that we have to go through to at least show that we're trying to be as legal as we can.
What's the spectrum of products that you have available through your service, Louis?
Well, primarily there'll be the smokables, but there's also a different alternative.
Different sativas and indicas and different CBD and
and it's all tested medicine, so they know how much CBD they're getting, or if they want a high THC med, they can get that as well. If they want indoor, outdoor, There's alternative delivery systems.
Tested for
glycol strips.
cannabinoid content.
Absolutely.
As well as
CBDs.
pesticides and molds
Absolutely.
and that thing. And
Absolutely.
it's certified by a laboratory in
Absolutely.
California.
Organic.
Or organic lab?
Yeah.
Oh, very good, very good. So, and you also have a range of edible products that are available to people?
Well, you know, with edibles, because they're perishable, we recommend people basically make their own. You know, there's plenty of books out there. We can actually include that information in our handbook for patients that want to make their own butters and tinctures and things of that nature. And it's, you know, fairly easy system. And the main thing is educating folks that the alternatives are out there, you know, and to be safe and to be legal and responsible use. And I was listening to your last guest and touching on the issues there, and you're right about pipe being most effective because you use the least amount that you would need at a time. You might only need one little poke or two on the pipe to get to where you need to be.
So what is your website, Louis?
It's Canasense, CANNASENSE, Total, TOTAL, Wellness, WELLNESS.com. And we're going to try to work on that and cut it down to CTW somehow. But for the meantime, that's the best we could do.
Okay. And so what's new now, since you were last here, is that these before patients, if they wanted to take advantage of this service that you offer, they would have to fly to California and get a California ID, which you could get them in within 48 hours, essentially. That and then that would allow them to have to purchase legally marijuana. Well, no, first they'd have to get a recommendation from a physician, and then they could...
Then they'd have to join Canasense, because that's not mandatory. That's, you know, we can't compel people, but then it would be a waste because they'd have to find a dispensary that will facilitate them.
Right.
They're very few and far and in between. So we have essentially a captive audience there that we are trying to educate on as far as how to interact with local law enforcement, how to package their product for transportation, and for those that that don't have any problem with carrying their own product, because that's one of the reasons we came up with this service, is that even though it's legal to fly home with your medicine from California, some people are terrified to carry a joint, let alone an ounce.
Right, sure.
So for those that can afford to spend a little more, we'll provide that service by way of caregiver. When they become, once the link is up, we'll provide them with a code once they go through a primary consultation. Then we'll give them a link to get into the website to be able to get their recommendation. And once they get their recommendation, they choose to join Canasense, then we go through the process of discussing how to provide them with safe access.
Is this a bricks and mortar place you have in California, Canasense? Or
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
It's an actual physical location.
Yes.
In the Bay Area?
In Oakland.
In Oakland.
Yeah.
How many people have taken advantage of this? How big?
Well, they've been trickling in, you know, here and there. It's basically been, you know, a lot of information for the people that are on tight budgets. We just provide them with the information free on how to go about it. But some people prefer to be catered to through the process. So there's different options. They'll be listed on the website if they want the no frills options and go through it themselves, or if they want our assistance, we have an ambassador that will walk them through the whole process, pick them up at the hotel, whatever needs to be done.
And so what's different now is that it can be done electronically.
Correct. Now they don't have to leave the state.
You don't have to leave New Jersey.
Correct.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That California allows that.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know, they're very liberal in the whole idea. They also...
So what you're getting is a non-resident California ID card.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not trying to establish residency in California.
No.
You get a non-resident ID
Right.
card.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it'd be no problem getting one of those, I guess. All you have to do is apply. How much does it cost?
The ID is free. The recommendation, I believe, is $85 with the discount.
The idea is free.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, it's part of the package. Once
Yeah.
you upload your information, you get your recommendation, and it comes with a medical marijuana patient ID card.
Uh-huh. Oh, so the medical, but that...
But it's only for California. It's a
It's only for-
California
yeah, it's a
card, so
you
we're
get a
working
California
under
medical-
California. We're a
okay.
California cooperative, so we work under California guidelines.
Yeah, yeah. You know, unfortunately, the recognition of out-of-state ID cards was taken out of New Jersey's law just before it passed into law. And that was very unfortunate because, you know, it seems to me unconstitutional to take it out of the law and to say that a person's treatment, or diagnosis and treatment plan, you know, is not valid in New Jersey when it's valid in California. That it just, I mean, a marriage is valid in California, in New Jersey, you know, so why would a person's diagnosis and treatment plan be not valid?
Well, it seems like there were more political motives in delaying the program as soon as the governor's office changed hands. They got to delay the program for a whole year and then put those kind of regulations, stipulations in place to just make it as much of a cluster mess as possible. And that's what's occurred. It's 5 years now, and there's only 3 ATCs up and running.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? If this were California, it would have been like 5,000 up in that amount of time.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Of course, I guess the ATCs were not very well regulated in California. That was the main criticism of them from the East Coast, that the lack of regulation, whereas the dispensaries here or alternative treatment centers are extremely tightly regulated here in the state of New Jersey. In fact, they are more tightly regulated than full-service pharmacies, you know, that have, you know, OxyContin, the full range of very addictive narcotics and whatnot available. You know, pharmacies don't require cameras in them that go back to the Department of Health the way
That's
New Jersey's program
it's
does.
primarily politics. It's all you know, who's playing politics into this whole thing.
Well, fears
And
too.
Patients are working.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's those restrictions are make it very difficult for the patients who can truly benefit from marijuana therapy, who just can't get it. So
Yeah, it's a shame. I think I might have mentioned last time, I got a call from a local patient who is a legal Jersey patient, but is 71 years old and on a budget and can't afford the medicine.
sure.
You know, and it doesn't, the insurance companies don't recognize it yet. The technology does exist, because I used to sell insurance. I also happened to sell insurance at one time in my life. And it is possible to develop an insurance product where they can determine level of THC which would be normal for a patient. In other words, they could determine if someone's abusing it as a medicine. So therefore, if they have a level, they could base on what they'll cover it as a medicine, as opposed to someone who's misusing it. So they can develop, you know, an insurance product to be able to pay for it effectively as a medicine.
Yeah, it's currently it's only in some foreign countries marijuana is the medical marijuana is covered by insurance. I know in the Netherlands it is. You can buy it in a pharmacy. It's covered by your insurance card.
Israel did it. Canada did it,
Canada
and
too.
the Netherlands. Yeah.
So, can you talk about the prices for your the service that you provide?
Well,
Or
it'll cheaper than it is here. That's what I can
Yeah.
you know I can say, and
to join the cooperative? Or?
Well, it's going to be a sliding scale based on the members' potential use. And if they go beyond that use, they can always upgrade without paying any kind of a penalty. It's only to be fair to people, that because some people might only use a half a pound in a year, you know, where some people might use 5 pounds in a year. So it all depends on their use, and we're just basing it on administrative cost of being able to track patients' use and their needs and how medicines are working for them. You know, we're trying to develop a database of information on how the medicines work effectively for the patients, the same way they did in Israel. so that the government has something to go back to, and it's not based on patients by names, it's their patient information. Once you become a patient with recommendation, you become a number. So you're not none of your personal information is being put
in CanaSense Total Wellness Program.
Yeah.
So you track the effectiveness of various strains of marijuana for various conditions, is what you're saying, too.
Correct, yeah. Because some people, like we were talking about earlier, some folks need very effective medicine where they'll, the edibles are most effective for them. And then there's people that need to be lucid during the day, and they can use high CBD meds during the day. And if they need to really attack their pain levels, then they can use something in the safety of their home. Everything, there's a time and a place for everything.
Well, anything else, Louis?
No, that's it. I thank you for having me on and allowing everybody to bring them up to date on the latest information. We just ask you to keep checking back on the website and till that information's out there, and hopefully we can help as many people as we can.
So visit CanaSenseTotalWellness.com. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
For more information about the Coalition for Medical Marijuana in New Jersey, join us at our free public meetings on the second Tuesday of every month at the Lawrence Township Library in Mercer County, New Jersey, from 7 to 9 p.m. Snacks are served and all are welcome. Remember,
every 42 seconds, someone's arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, somebody's arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone's arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, somebody is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone's arrested for cannabis.
Every 42 seconds, someone's arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for cannabis.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana, Lefty. And you're not one of them.
Every 42 seconds, somebody is arrested for cannabis.
Cada 42 segundos está uno arrestado por marihuana.
Every 42 seconds, somebody is arrested for...
Every 42 seconds, someone in this country is arrested for marijuana.
Chaque 42 secondes, il y a arrêté un monde pour marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana. It could be you.